Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of the Halftime Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Reese Kinder. We are back again with another week of action-packed, just recap of football. Um, but yeah, gonna take me a while to honestly get used to the new name, the Halftime Sports Football Show. But yeah, sorry about that. But no, great past weekend of football, of sports in general. Great last week as well. And yeah, today on the show, we're going to be recapping the college football semifinal games, talking about the college football transfer portal as well. So that should be a fun topic to talk about the best players available and, best teams right now with the best transfer portal classes. And then we're also going to be recapping Wildcard weekend with some outstanding matchups. And we are also going to be previewing the NFL divisional round weekend coming up this weekend. So, folks, sit back, relax, and let's get ready to start this episode 33. What is up, everybody? And it is a great week here. We're already getting towards the national championship. College football season is ending soon. Sadly, it's about to be over, but NFL's not over yet. Still got a month of that left. But folks, we're now going to talk about the college football playoff semifinals, and we're going to start with the first matchup. It is Miami versus Ole Miss. A great game. Miami won 31 to 27 off of a Carson Beck rushing TD late in the fourth quarter to win that game. But the stat line, like we always do, we will start with that. Carson Beck, 268 yards, 23 for 37, two touchdown passes, one interception, and then Trinidad Chambliss had 277 yards passing, 23 for 37 with one touchdown pass, and a great game by both of these teams. It honestly was better than I expected. I thought this was going to be low scoring. You guys heard me last week on the show. I thought this was going to be a low scoring affair. It was going to be one of those games that both defenses kind of show up and show that they're really good. But Miami came in here. The defense looked good for majority of the game, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of the game, they started giving up big plays. The one thing that stood out to me too is Miami had a lot of penalties against them in the latter part of that game, which really is something to look out for. If you guys are looking forward to the national championship, that's something to look out for as well. Is those penalties definitely hurt Miami in the late parts of that game against Ole Miss. And then on the Ole Miss defensive side of things, Ole Miss's defense just not. It didn't seem like they were really prepared, to be honest. And yeah, the Rebels, you know, had no answers really for Miami. And the one big sequence was, or the one big drive was the ending for Miami. They were able. Carson Beck. It was 3rd and 10. This was to get the game within reach, or well, get ahead for Miami. But yeah, Carson Beck threw about a 20-yard pass with ease. Honestly, Ole Miss's coverage was not good at all, and then he just that's kind of when I knew it was over. I was like, once he threw that pass, I was like, this game's over, man. I mean, just you can see how Ole Miss's defense is wearing out. And yeah, sure enough, it happened there in that game at the end. Ole Miss's defense just was not fully healthy towards the end of that game, and it felt like they definitely wore out. I kind of noticed that trend as well against Georgia, but yeah, I really thought it was going to be a defensive battle, low scoring, but ended up being a really good game. One of the best games I've seen in the college football playoff in the past few years. But yeah, Miami gets a big win, 31-27. But we're going to move to the offensive side of things now. Talking about Carson Beck. Carson Beck had a really good game, 268 yards. I mean, a really good game for Carson Beck. He was able to, show off with his legs and his arm. He did make some mistakes in that game, but was able to fix those as the game progressed. Really good game, like I said, though, by Carson Beck. And then Trinidad Chambliss had another, outstanding performance, and just a really, really good job by Trinidad Chambliss, even though this season came up short. And I don't know if Trinidad Chambliss is going to come back or not next year. I saw that he's going to sue the NCAA, so he should probably get the extra year of eligibility, his 6th year. So he'll be back at Ole Miss next year. But yeah, um, a great game, like I said, from both teams. Ole Miss just fell short. The defense kind of basically felt like almost let out at the end of the game and wasn't able to pull through. But yeah, Ole Miss is sadly out of the playoff. Miami goes to the national championship now, and they're going to go play at their own home stadium. So really good job by Miami. No one thought they would make it here, not even myself. But yeah, I'm really glad to see the Hurricanes in this national championship, and can't wait to see what happens in literally in a few days. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Miami wins 31-27 in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Big win for them to go to the national championship. But our next game up on the semifinals, it's the last one. It's Oregon and Indiana. Dante Moore, his stat line: 266 yards, 24 for 39, two touchdown passes, one interception. And then Fernando Mendoza, 177 yards, 17 for 25 TDs. And man, all I gotta say is, uh, Indiana is winning the 2026 national championship, because this team, man, this team is probably almost as close to good as 2019 LSU. Like, people will probably clown me for that, but to be honest, it's for real. Fernando Mendoza only missed 3 passes and didn't even have to get 200 passing yards to throw 5 touchdowns. First play of the game was a pick six by Indiana's defense. So those that think Indiana didn't have a good defense, pick six first play. And they also had 3 other turnovers forced in that game. So, I mean, just an outstanding. I like, this team is the most complete team I've seen in years. Like, I'm so serious. Like, Indiana, a big 56-22 win is just great for them. And I mean, they just keep proving people wrong. I can't wait to see what they do in the national championship, because if they win the national championship, that will be one of the greatest stories ever in college football. That Indiana was the worst team in college football and won the Natty. But I mean, a great win from Indiana. Oregon never made it close at all. I mean, I think it was 7-7 at one point in the first quarter, but other than that, it really wasn't a close game. But Fernando Mendoza again shows why he was a Heisman, why he's going to be the number one overall pick, and just continues to ball out at this stage in the college football playoffs. And yeah, I mean, no, in other words, like I said, I'm just really proud of this group in Indiana. I know a lot of people, I know some people hate on them. They don't deserve it at all. I mean, these guys have made it here the right way. They've gotten there, and yeah, really proud of Indiana. But on Oregon's side of things, I mean, there's nothing you can really do. Even Dane Lanning said, we tried our best, but Indiana was just too good. So, I mean, that there's nothing you really can do with with the way Indiana performed, and Kirk Cigneti is just an insane coach, and I'm so excited to see if this Hoosier team can win a national championship on Monday. But yeah, not really much to say about that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for our college football playoff semifinal matchups. The national championship will be Indiana and Miami on Monday, January 19th at 6:30 East or 6:30 Central Time and 7:30 Eastern Time. So you guys obviously probably will be watching that if you're watching this channel right now. But yeah, this is going to be an insane national championship. Can't wait to see who wins it. Fernando Mendoza playing in his own backyard, and Miami playing at home for the college football national championship. But yeah, we're going to move on now, though, to some more college football. But this is a little bit different. We haven't done this in the past, and we're going to do it now. Uh, but the college football transfer portal tracker, the best still available. And we're going to take a look now at the recruiting class rankings. And the recruiting class rankings, as we stand right now, the best class is actually LSU. For some odd reason, LSU is up there. They have 1 5-star and 7 4-stars, 16 3-stars, and right now, according to 247 Sports, they are the number one recruiting class. And then you have Texas, who's number 2, Penn State's number 3, Oklahoma State's number 4, Ole Miss is 5, Kentucky is 6, A&M is 7, Ohio State's 8, Texas Tech's 9, and Indiana's 10. But gonna take a look at LSU, who they've gotten so far in their portal, in their transfer portal. And obviously, you're probably going to have a lot of Ole Miss players transferring from there. Right now, they have a three-star Darian Stray from Kentucky, and they have Winston Watkins, LS or former Ole Miss player, transferred to LSU, and then Jordan Ross, four-star from Tennessee. He's an edge rusher, 6'5", 245. He transferred from Tennessee. And then Jalen Brown from South Carolina transferred over, and then William Satterwhite transferred from Tennessee. And then the biggest one probably is five-star Sam Levitt, who went from Arizona State to LSU. A lot of controversy there. He was visiting Tennessee after his visit went very wrong with LSU the first time. And then what is it? Then Lane Kiffin literally flew to Knoxville to meet with Sam Levitt. I don't really know the gist of what happened, but Sam Levitt has now officially signed with LSU, I believe, and he will be LSU's quarterback next year. So a really good signing from Lane Kiffin in his first like transfer portal class here at LSU. But yeah, those are some of the big names LSU's gotten. And then Texas, we already know they have Arch Manning at quarterback, but Texas this week got Auburn wide receiver Cam Coleman, the five-star, the prodigy from Auburn, and then they also got Hollywood Smothers as well, the running back who was formerly committed to Alabama but decided to drop out and go to Texas. So Texas, two big names come to Texas. A lot of big names, honestly, on there. But this Texas team next year looks very scary. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a possible national championship type team. Cam Coleman's going to add to the receiving core along with Wingo, and then Hollywood Smothers at running back. That team's going to be really scary next year, and I cannot wait to see what Texas looks like in the SEC in year 3. But the Longhorns are second. And then you look at Penn State. Penn State, not really anybody that kind of stands out right now on that board. A lot of, obviously, Iowa State transfers. You're going to get those guys since Matt Campbell jumps over. But the one that's shocking to me is Oklahoma State. A lot of, obviously, North Texas guys. But you have guys like you got Trudell Berry from Vanderbilt, a four-star cornerback. And then you have Billy Walton III from SMU, a three-star edge. You're getting some of these young guys, these three-star talent that that Coach Morris can develop into really good players. So we'll see what happens here as Oklahoma State is fourth right now in the transporter class, and then look at Ole Miss as well. Ole Miss, after all the Lane Kiffin stuff, they've gotten Deuce Knight, the five-star, former five-star, now a four-star, according to 247 Sports. They got him on their team, but that does kind of play in the factor that also Trinidad Chambliss could be coming back next year, so we'll see. And then they also got Jay Crawford from Auburn, really good defensive back. Watched him play a few times this year, and he is a really, really good defensive back. So Ole Miss is getting a great defender there. And then they also got Edwin Joseph, a safety from Florida State, who is going to make this team elusive, or they're going to make this team really good. And I cannot wait to see how this Ole Miss defense looks next year. But we'll really kind of check that out as next season gets closer. But yeah, right now Ole Miss, the fifth team in the transfer portal class. And then let's look at Kentucky. They have five 4-stars. They got a Louisville transfer who's a 3-star. Right now, I'm not kind of seeing anybody. I'm at 5 4-stars. I probably said 5 stars. My bad. But they got Colton Price, outside lineman from Baylor, and then they also got Lance Hurd from Tennessee. So two big names there for the Wildcats, as they are the 6th team in the transfer portal right now. But the transfer portal is still going on. And then Texas A&M is 4th. Not really any big names there, but Texas Tech, let's look at them. Texas Tech has had a lot of guys come on their team. And you have former Auburn receiver Malcolm Simmons is one of the newest guys on this list. And then right now, it says Texas Tech, according to the outgoing transfers. Texas Tech's got a few crystal ball predictions for some of these guys. But yeah, really interested to see what Texas Tech can do. This team next year can be really solid after getting Malcolm Simmons as receiver. I'm really excited to see what they can do. But yeah, let's look at the best available currently on the list. Let me see real quick. Um, let's see, transfer portal. We're looking at best available right now. And the best available, you got Bubba Thomas from or Thompson from South Alabama. He's still up there. He's just question, or let's see, actually the top. Well, right now, Sam Levitt. You got Brennan Sornsby is already committed to Texas Tech. That was a big signing for Texas Tech. Who he was I think he's the number one in the transfer portal class. And then you have Jordan Seaton, who hasn't gone anywhere yet. He's a five-star offensive tackle, 6'5", 330. I heard maybe Auburn. I don't really know if that's true or not. And then you got Damian Wilson the second from Missouri. He's still undecided. And then Madarrell Desir from Florida State. I'm probably saying that wrong, but from Florida State, he's the next best guy after that. And then you have Hassan Longstreet. He's a four-star quarterback from USC. And then you also have some other guys. It looks like just now maybe Devin Tompkins went to Alabama. I'm not sure, that I could be late there, but yeah. But yeah, those are some of the guys that are the best available. But yeah, guys, that will just about do it though for the transport tracker and best available guys. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the college football side of things for the show. But now we're gonna move on to NFL, and we're gonna start with Wildcard weekend, and we're going to start with our first game. It's the Panthers versus the Rams. The bank, the energy was back. I'm a Panthers fan, and man, all I gotta say, let's give it up for for those guys, the Carolina Panthers, man. Really proud of what those guys did. Um, Sad way to end it. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, really, really proud of the guys, and this team next year I think will be a really good team. You guys look out for them next year. I think maybe 11 to 10 win season next year, and the Panthers will be back in the playoffs for sure. But yeah, really good game, 34 to 31. The Rams get a close win, but Bryce Young's elite performance not good enough for the win. But Bryce Young had a really good game. I believe threw for 266, had a few touchdown passes, and also had a touchdown run. And then Matt Stafford didn't have his best game, but still was able to find the win or find a way to win. And then a really good play he made was the throw to Colby Parkinson with about 40-ish seconds. It was a great throw. Trayvon Merrick had great coverage, but just not enough. And Colby Parkinson made the catch and scored the touchdown. But yeah, Matthew Stafford made a great throw to set that up. And yeah, this Rams team really good. I just don't know if they're good enough to make it past the divisional round, but we'll see. But yeah, the Panthers defense kind of let up at the end of the game. And the one thing I'll say about that, for any Panthers fans, I'm a Panthers fan myself, but for any Panthers fans, I don't think Evero needs to be fired as the defensive coordinator. The defense was worn out at the end of the game. That's going to happen against a super team like this. You kind of need some more depth on defense if you're wanting to face them twice and beat them twice. But Panthers, they played a really good game, and the Rams also did as well. The Rams, Puka Nacua, 2 touchdown performance. Devontae Adams got knocked out basically, but still played pretty good. And then Colby Parkinson with the game-winning TD. But yeah, Panthers and Rams, 34 to 31, a really great game between those two teams. And really happy for the city of Charlotte. And yeah, next year we'll see the Panthers maybe back in the playoffs, and the Rams will move on to play the Bears next round in the divisional round. Speaking of Bears, though, Bears versus Packers was insane. That was the second game on Saturday. The Packers choked so big in Chicago, though. I mean, they were up 21 to 3 at one point, and they ended up losing this game. And yeah, Bears fans, I would not be happy that you guys won that game. I mean, I would be happy that you won that game, but I would not be happy that you're, going on to the next round, because you guys could be cooked next round when y'all play the Rams. But we'll see. But yeah, the Bears really choked, or the Packers really choked in that game. But the Bears were able to find a way to win. Caleb Williams had a good second half. Found some guys open in the end zone and stuff. Threw some crazy passes. And the Packers defense kind of got worn out at the end. And yeah, the Bears won 31-28 in a big win. And yeah, a great game between both teams, with the Packers just too many injuries, man. If they had Micah Parsons, I think they would have won, but that's a story for a different day. But the Packers next year will be back, I'm pretty sure. I have confidence they will be. But the Bears move on, and they will face the Rams in the next round of the divisional round. So that should be a good game between those two teams. Well, one division winner. The Rams didn't win the division, but the AFC or NFC North champion, the Bears, and then the Rams, who had to play in a tough NFC West. But we'll see who wins that matchup, and we'll predict it here coming up shortly. And then our next game up is an AFC game. This was on Sunday at 12 p.m. This is the Bills and the Jaguars. Josh Allen proves the Bills can go far in the playoffs. I was really hoping the Jaguars won this game, but sadly they didn't, and couldn't come up with a win. And yeah, the Bills get a big win after a late interception with about a minute left in the fourth quarter. In Jacksonville, I think we'll be back there next year, but just really sad way to end it for the Jaguars. I had them going to the Super Bowl, like you guys heard on the show last week. Trevor Lawrence played a good game. It's just Josh Allen outperformed him. Josh Allen had one of those legacy games yet again, and Josh Allen just looks like he's going to be a really unstoppable force here in this playoffs. And they play the Denver Broncos coming up on divisional weekend, so that's a big one too, because the Broncos have not played a game yet. So really interested to see how that unfolds. But we'll see, because I really do think Josh Allen has a chance to upset the one-seeded Broncos and go to the AFC Championship again in his career. But yeah, Bills Jaguars 27-24 from Jacksonville was the final. Really tough way to end it for Jacksonville, but really glad to see they made the playoffs this year, and I think they'll be back next year for sure. And we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, Bills get a big win. And then the game at 3:30 on Sunday, which was the Eagles and the 49ers. Man, you guys did see it today, though, probably on ESPN or something like that. Yeah, the Eagles finally got rid of their offensive coordinator, but the offense was just not clicking. And we saw it firsthand there against the 49ers, and the 49ers were able to get a big win. Brock Purdy had a decent game, and then Jawan Jennings threw a touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey late in the game to inevitably get them the win. But the 49ers defense was relentless there at the end, and they got a big win for their team. And yeah, 49ers, man, gonna be interesting to see how they play the Seahawks. They played the Seahawks first time 13-3, but really interested to see what happens between those two teams the third time around. And then the last game of Sunday, it was Sunday Night Football. It was the Chargers and the Patriots. The Patriots defense came up strong in this game. The Chargers offense had no answers for this Pats defense, and really shocking, really surprising that happened. I thought the Chargers could have pulled upset, but just couldn't quite do that. So really, really weird there. But yeah, I just don't know what happened. But yeah, Patriots defense really good in this game. The offense wasn't there. That's one thing I'm kind of like harping on a little bit. Is I'm like, if we see this happen next week against the Texans, this could be a different story. The Patriots could be losing that game. So we'll just have to see what happens. But Patriots defense comes up big in the win against the Chargers in a 16-3 win in New England. But yeah, really interested to see what happens next week against the Texans, who are the best defense in the AFC. And then speaking of the Texans, Texans Steelers, Texans defense last night, man, it was 7-6 in the third quarter. I didn't even watch this game. It was 7-6 in the third quarter. I look back at the end of the game, it's 30-6. I'm like, what the heck happened? Like, I was shocked. But the Texans defense just shined again. I mean, that's one thing. The Texans offense can't get it done, but the Texans defense has just been like insane this entire year. I think they're the best defense in the NFL besides Seattle, but the Texans played a great game against Pittsburgh last night. And I think, like I said, New England fans, if there's any New England fans in here, y'all got to be scared because the Texans defense is going to come ready to play. And I think this defense is probably the best in the NFL. And it would not shock me if they make it as far as the AFC Championship with their defense. Like I said, defense can win championships, and the Texans sure prove that to start this playoffs. And they're starting out strong with a statement. But folks, that's going to do it for Wild Card Weekend. It was a great weekend of football. Really had some great games. But now we're going to move over to the divisional round preview / prediction, and we're going to start off with our first game. This is on Saturday. I believe it's at 3:30. It's the Bills and Broncos, and I think this game. The question mark is here: can the Bills upset again in this playoffs? And I think what's going to happen is the Bills will upset. I just think the Broncos are a little overrated. They've played some bad teams close this season, and the Bills have had up and down year, but this team has started to come together as the playoffs has approached, and I think this Bills team is going to get the job done. They're going to win this game, and they will move on to the AFC Championship. And nobody's stopping Josh Allen because Mahomes is not in the playoffs, Burrow's not in the playoffs, Jackson's not in the playoffs. So we'll just have to see, take it game by game, what Josh Allen can do as we approach towards the Super Bowl. But our next game, like I said, Seattle and the 49ers. This game happened before. The Seahawks have to dominate this game. I just think personally the Seahawks are going to win this game. It's probably going to be similar to the first or to the last time these two met in Week 18. It's just going to be like a low-scoring game, but the Seahawks are going to win because their defense is really good. And I just don't see the 49ers. Like, the 49ers offense didn't really impress me as much in that Eagles win last week. But you never know. I mean, they could come out different, but I think the Seahawks are going to get a win here against San Francisco, and they will move on to go to the NFC Championship against the winner of the Bears and the Rams. And then our next AFC game, this is 2:30 on Sunday. This is the Texans and the Patriots. The Texans defense can spoil the Pats' playoff run. And certainly this is probably going to be a low-scoring game. Don't be shocked if it is. But I think the Texans will get the job done. Their defense will come up big. I think this is going to be an upset. Sorry, Patriots fans, but I just believe in this Texans defense. DeMeco Ryans is one of few coaches in recent history that has turned out to be a defensive mind and has worked out as a head coach. He's still doing this. I think the Texans get a big win, and they will move on to the AFC Championship to face the Bills, and that's going to be a really big matchup, and I think it's going to be a really good game. So we'll see what happens. But Texans-Patriots, I think Texans get a big win. And then the last game on our slate, it is the Rams versus the Bears. This is Sunday Night Football on Sunday night. And Matthew Stafford doesn't have to play perfect to win this game. I mean, the Bears have shown flaws throughout this season and throughout this playoffs, even last week against the Packers, that they can go down big, but they also can come back and win games. So the Rams cannot do what they did against the Panthers and let the Bears hang in there. The Rams have to score lots of points. They have to get points on the board when they can. But like I said, Matthew Stafford does not have to play perfect, but he just needs to play his style of football, and I think Matthew Stafford will end up winning this game for the Rams. But I am going to take the Rams in this one, but it's going to be close, just like the Panthers game. We'll see what happens on Sunday. But folks, that is going to do it for episode 32 or 33, my bad, of the Halftime Sports Talk Show. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, X, also on TikTok as well. And don't forget to subscribe down below if you guys like the videos. We will be posting, or I post every single week. But yeah, I hope you guys have a safe weekend, a fun weekend watching some football. But we will be back next week to recap the College Football National Championship and recap Divisional Round weekend. But y'all have a safe weekend,